Hello world, we're live. It's me, the Jcrow, and today we're in Adobe Animate doing some more work on the haunted, nightmare-fueled, cursed Mikus. Or at least that's the direction they've all seemed to take. Initial goal was to make sure they were all unique and something a bit more obscure. Yeah, it just seems to be horror themed now. 3, 2, 1, camera reveal. Welcome Brownie Bat. Welcome Squeaky Clean. Welcome Pebble. Hi. I knew he'd come in pretending that he's not eaten. So last stream, all of these that have colour got completed. We could work on some more line art today. There is space for sketching some more, like we've got Godish to do. But I can make a poll in chat actually. Squeaky Clean, now you have a pebble. What? Is he meowing at you? Is he doing very big meows of plight because he wants to eat and he's not been fed yet? He has been fed, by the way. He's lying, don't listen to him. Anybody else's pet like that? Where they'll like desperately ask each human in the house, like meow so politely because they want to get second dinner or second breakfast. Pebble always tries crying for extra food. The issue with Pebble is even if you go, oh, well, maybe he's just extra hungry, we should give him an extra, I don't know, an extra bit of crunchy food or something. The issue with Pebble is he will eat till he pukes. So Pebble cannot be trusted. Pebble should not be trusted. Pebble will vomit everywhere. Usually on the carpet, actually. Halloween's getting closer as well. It'd be really cool to know what people are doing for Halloween. I really like seeing all the different decorations people put up around this time of year. So it's like a fun time to go for walks because you get to see everyone's Halloween decor. It's also fun to go for walks around Christmas as well because, again, you get to see all the decorations. Squeaky Clean, now he's just exploring, and a mass load of zeros. Squeaky Clean, was the cat on the keyboard for a moment there? Any chance? Dude bro catching some Z's in chat. I've been sleeping better than usual recently, speaking of Z's. Suspiciously better. I'm waiting to find out that my sleep tracker app was just broken. It has been pausing at a certain point because it wants me to do an update that I've not done. I noticed that today. So I'm suspicious if I do that update and make sure it doesn't pause, that suddenly I'm scared my sleep pattern's going to be like, no, it was never improved. It's always been diabolical. We've got a zombie Miku today, and then wherever it takes us. I've not checked the poll yet. Dude bro, do you celebrate Halloween at all? A lot of people I know don't actually celebrate Halloween in real life. So a lot of the IRL people I know don't actually celebrate. Bagoki, hi. Hi, Bagoki. Are you in company of Wyo? I'm not really sure. Oh, I think I do know the coolest Halloween setup I've seen this year so far. Somebody had a big umbrella shaped tree or bush, technically, and they decorated it with lots of tiny hanging skeletons wearing different outfits. So it looks like it's got a bunch of different skeletons hung from the tree. And I just think it's one of the most creative things I've seen recently. Around where I live, There's been a huge trend for the past couple of years now to just do a giant spider, to the point where it's a standard Halloween decoration to spot in shops. Like, if you're going into a store that is gonna sell Halloween decorations, you can guarantee they'll have the big spider as an option. It's like a bundle of ropes, and then, as the name would imply, a big spider. This Miku also has, like, fun patterns on her hair. I know she has, like, splats on her hair. Kinda look like blood. Yeah. Let's get the splatter. Dude, bro, I did, like, thrice, but now I'm a quarter, and it's, like, really religious here, so we don't celebrate much. Aw. When you did celebrate, did you do costumes, or did you do, like, parties? There's lots of ways to interact. Agogi, interesting thing. A few folks from our sister city in Japan are being hosted in our neighbor's house. Oh, I wonder if I should walk over and bring baked goods as a gift to strike up conversation. You could totally do that if you wanted. Aren't you like a pro by now at the brownies? Why not? I passed through in the taxi like earlier this week. I passed through a town that said it had sister towns in France and Germany. And I was literally looking at it thinking, it's a fun fact, but what does that actually mean? So, what does it actually mean if you have a sister town? I bet they'd be interested in your photography as well, potentially. If they're visiting your town specifically from another country because it's a sister town and they're interested in that aspect. You've mentioned you've got a lot of photography from like local areas around where you live. That could be a cool thing to also show them. Oh, I think it's a good idea anyway. To go over and say hi. There's so many Vocaloid songs I listen to where when it first comes out, I'm just kind of like, eh. And then they appear on my playlists frequently and frequently. And eventually they just kind of grow on me. Indoctrination. Only it's Miku, so. So I think this one was Mochi Star's request. I was literally so I've fallen behind on editing my live streams and it's looking kind of messy at the minute. I feel like it looks cluttered when it's not got thumbnails and stuff, right? When I was editing one of the previous streams and it just kept going. Usually usually I'm pretty active in streams, so I don't really bother editing too much. Well, it's because I was getting loads of different art references. And because I was getting all those references, there was like long pauses in the footage, and I'm like, I mean, I can cut this out, I guess, for now. I like the style on this Miku though. She reminds me of scene fashion, only a zombie. Oops, didn't mean to zoom in like that. Abagoki, you looked it up, and usually making sister cities are to promote social and cultural exchange and such. Maybe economic if your sister is big enough. Oh, I mean, it's cute. So for smaller towns and cities, it's literally just a case of this is nice. I wouldn't. It's surprising actually, because I feel like I find a lot of things these days don't really have the purpose or function of this is nice. It's just nice. And usually there's a reason for everything. So I remember looking at it and going, it can't just be because it's nice, right? So I did share the spooky month meme to TikTok today. So that's on there now for TikTok viewers. If anyone in chat, I was going to say, in case anybody, it's because when I post it on Discord, I'm like, for those of you not on YouTube, here's the TikTok link, and for the other way around, here's the YouTube. But you're all actually on YouTube right now, so you know it'd be kind of weird if someone was like, "Yeah, I don't use YouTube actually." A lot of line work on this one. But yeah, last stream we did a lot of the cursed Mikus. We still have characters like Miku Dio to do. The leak, very, very Miku. So that's another one. Zombie. Leak. Yeah, I was just checking the line out was the right size. Thank you for your contribution, Static. But went on a nice walk today, I guess. I walked through like a little woodland trail near me to go and pick Squeaky up from work. And then we walked back through a different woodland trail and got to see some trains. Let me fix this up. How many people in chat actually like leeks? Like, not aesthetically. How many of you have eaten a leek before? And how worried should this particular Miku be right now? Now I've got Teto territory. There we go. Bagoki, leeks are fine to eat. They're kind of squeaky when you chew them, right? Texture. We put them in curries and stews a lot. We also like to roast them with like roast dinners too. That waffle, boo. You got your account back. You're not Pumpkin Patch anymore? You're like a champion of usernames and accounts on YouTube at this rate. Leek. Took so long to draw that one. What's going to be here? retry now. We've also got a Zipload Miku, Miku Dio. Should we get the Zipload? Oh, we don't have our eyes. So we don't need the ears, but I do need to know where, like, the eyes and eyebrows are. I'll just copy over the head, and then we can work over what we need. Cute. Buff Miku. That waffle, I took the spotlight already. Oh my gosh, you spawned and, like, immediately jumped to monarchy. You're the monarch. Paul's the first place monarch. Heir to the Jcrow is Brigoki, and the Knight in Shining Armor is you Squeaky Clean. We've also got Dude Bro and Briny Bat lurking in chat. Well, Dude Bro and Brownie, you've already said hi, so lurking. You said hi. I was like, what counts as lurking? Overthinking things. And that waffle. Oh, look, spotlight already. Yana is sleeping right now because we're on 12 hours of sleep. And I was at the pumpkin patch for a day. Oh, did you get a good pumpkin? Visiting a pumpkin patch is something I would like to do. But something tells me it's something to do when you have a car, because I don't want to carry a pumpkin. They're heavy. So, this might seem like a dumb question at first, for some of you. How many of you are aware that pumpkin is actually edible? Because I read that a lot of people don't know that pumpkins are edible and think that they are grown and farmed this time of year just for aesthetic. You can eat pumpkin. You can eat the seeds and the fruit. Get the eyes. That waffle. I'm awesome, and you know pumpkins are edible. You like eating seed chips. I really like. What did we put it in last year? Like soup. We made soup with pumpkins and squashes before. That was really nice. I feel like I should use a smaller line art size for the yarn hair because it's kind of detailed. Oh gosh, Squeaky had like really injured his thumb cutting pumpkins last year. I can't remember what exactly was happening, but he was cutting the pumpkin. He wasn't being as careful as he probably should have been, and took a huge slice out of his finger. And yet, previously that same day, he was doing something else that was much more dangerous than carving a pumpkin and managed not to injure himself. So it was kind of ironic by the end of it that that's what he'd got injured by. Wait, no, I think I remembered. It wasn't that he was doing something more dangerous in that regard. It's that he was bathing the cat. He was bathing the cat that refused to have a wash, peed all down his own leg, and needed that off because no, you're not walking around the house with pee pee leg. And he bathed the cat expecting fully to get plenty of scratches and bites from it, and walked away injury free, and then went and injured himself on a pumpkin. Didn't you, Squeaky? Look, Loki, a few locals are going to go up to the sister city in Japan next summer. Ooh. Are you gonna go? I don't know how old you'd actually need to be for something like that. I remember we did like a foreign exchange in school. And I was supposed to host for one of the kids coming over because like some of our kids went to Germany and then some of the German kids came to England on different times. So it was like 1 month it was one was the other. And I applied and got put on it. And then the week I was supposed to do it, I got sick and couldn't do it. So someone else in the class had to do it. I didn't get to see any of the people because I wasn't in that week. And the person that was supposed to go to mine went to someone else in the class. But the weird bit was she was bragging. So when I came back, she was like bragging to me, being like, I got your exchange student. And I was like, you realize they're a person, not a trophy, right? You didn't win anything. Like, I hope you weren't this weird with them. I mostly just, like I said, I just remember how weird she was being when we got back. Or when I got back. But yeah, I hate tonsillitis. It has ruined so many things for me. Quite a lot of big events for me were ruined because of specifically tonsillitis. See, I'm unsure whether I should go as far as to do little yarn twists in the hair too for detail, because at the moment it just looks kind of stringy. I feel like it looks like yarn. Maybe I'll use the colour to do it. So I can give her a little line twist to make it look more like yarn, but I'll use a coloured line art for it. For now, we'll continue the outfit. Agoki, speaking to people is scary. I mean, if you're going over with food, at least it's less scary because you've got the food as an icebreaker. You're like, behold, brownies. That's right. Heck, you could bring wire. Look, bird, food, and they're gonna be like, well, you're the coolest person we've ever met. Bird and food. I know I'd be biased. If I was on an exchange, student or sister exchange type thing, and I was like, hey, this person came to say hi. They had a cool bird and brought food. They're winning. It's not a popularity contest, but also you're winning if it was. Astra Blaze wool. It is wool. Doing the zip load today. How do we combine the title The Zip Lord with Miku or Hatsune? Trying to think of a creative one and not just the first thing to come to mind. Miku can be anything, including a little craft project. Okay, and now she just needs this. So I think Astra Blaze really cooked with this design when I was coming up with stuff. She came up with the yarn hair and suggested changing this. So usually this is a little leak, not a leak, a little chilly. So it's meant to be referencing classic sewing pin cushion. It looks like a tomato with a little strawberry or chili attached to it. And Astrobelaze was like, you should make it a leek. I was like, I absolutely should make it a leek. You are right. People comment on the Neru when they get Colby. I think the Neru one's been really fun because people do comment what they've got. And on TikTok, you can add photos too. So you just get little screenshots of the different characters people have pulled. Well, they're all Neru, but variants, which is pretty cute. And I feel like people that put Colby, like, I got Colby, and it's like, you probably don't know who Colby is. And every time I just comment, you got the secret rare. And then they're like, yay. Okay. So for those that weren't here, I did draw the line out thinner on the hair on purpose because it's detailed, so I didn't think it'd look as good chunky. Okay. So this is all the stuff that'll be in the standard pink. And I need to adjust, what was it? I need to do stripes on the tie and in the hair to colour later. But how was your day as well, Astroblaze? Zipsune Lord Q. That could work. Zipsune. And Waffle, I have good and bad news. What do you want to hear first? Bad news first, then fix it with the good news. Bagoki, my bag of pistachios burst into pieces, and now there is pistachio dust powder, question mark, on my pants, and they're all over the ground. Unleash the bird. Release the bird! He'll assist you with cleaning. Wayo sat there like, my time has come. Finally, I may fulfill my bird purpose. That Waffle, you like eating seeds and chips. Speaking to people is scary. I can see. Is it the crunch by any chance? I really like foods that are crunchy. For the longest time, I thought I was looking for like texture in fried foods. So like fried chicken, when I was like, I want something crispy. And then I'd have the fried chicken and I'd be sat there unsatisfied because I'd be like, no, that wasn't it. It was like vegetable, actually, that I wanted. So cucumbers and lettuce. I've been really enjoying crunchy foods recently. And by that I mean vegetables. Okay, I can either do little twists like this, or I can do straight curves. I think the straight curves are probably better than ones. I guess because this one is just particularly thick. It might look better if I make it thinner. Yeah, that looks less messy, considering the amount we're getting. Well, we're getting stripy, everyone. Sorry. I'm trying not to make them all line up. We're going for like a brickwork pattern at this rate. I've nearly finished the classroom illustration I was doing as well. I'm thinking of posting. I'm considering starting to post my art to community posts on YouTube. Would it be better to make community posts, or would it be better to make like a short with it? Okay, it's 50-50 on the poll currently. Half of you want to see sketches, half of you want to see line and color. There's 7 watching and 4 votes, so someone could sway the vote. For now, I'm going to continue line art because we're on that, and then once I've done with the zip load, maybe swap to sketches, unless the poll changes its mind sooner. Magoki, pickled food is the best universal food type. I don't like pickled. I don't like pickled food. I always order extra pickle on my food though when it comes with it, like burgers, and then I give the pickles to Squeaky so he has lots of pickle. Ah, Astra Blaze. Well, it was stupid, busy, and I'm tired. Oh, I bet it's going to be busy with people wanting to put together last minute Halloween costumes, and it's going to be busy with people starting to realize that they can do their Christmas shopping now. Like, huh, Halloween. People seem to see Halloween and go, huh, that's like nearly Christmas. Like, no, Halloween first, please. That waffle, my life sucks. Is that your bad news? The good news is there's no good news. My life sucks. No! How can we make it better? What can improve it? What's one small way you can improve it right now? Like I know you've got like all these long-term solutions, but what's like one thing that could make you feel better now? And on a similar subject, a little reminder to everybody, have you eaten or drank or had any due medication recently? Here's a little reminder to do so. Ziplord be like, let me just take up all the details. Leave none for no one else. I want it to clearly be yarn though, and I think just this little bit of extra detail to give it texture is definitely what it needs. Agoki, are you gonna go and visit your new sister town neighbors whilst covered in pistachio? You going over while you've got pistachioed? And then the last bit is the stripes on the ribbon need doing. These are a bit chunkier though and smaller. Neaten those up though. There he is. She is. They is. And the poll wants 50-50. Poll is still 50-50. But that's line art so far for Zombie, Leet, and Zitlord. We still need lines for who? Retry Now, Mikudayo, and we need to draw, sketch, Chimera and Godish. We also have 2 slots left after that. So let's go on to sketches, shall we? Like, okay, we put up the Christmas tree on the 25th of October. Oh. At least it'll be like 2 months. Can you decorate your Christmas tree for Halloween? You should sneak a little pumpkin on your Christmas tree and see if your parents notice it. That waffle, you want buff Miku? I mean, Seraphim in the Ring is a song and a buff Miku. It's like a wrestler Miku. I could just make up a hench Miku, though. Like standard costume, given muscles. The real question is, do we make Miku muscular, or should we turn her hair into muscular arms instead? I can do buff Miku. Let me know. Do you want Seraphim in the Ring as like an official song? She's a wrestler, and I can make a hench. Or do you just want standard Miku, but like she's beefy? Okay, Godish. I'm a little intimidated. Start with the veil, I suppose. I'm on the wrong layer. I'm not on the wrong layer. Okay, so the veil. We'll start with like a hair shape. Because she does have that. The veil starts near the front and curves around the face a little. I'm looking at how to draw the white part of the hat. I don't know what to call it, but you know what I mean. Because it folds around the veil differently. It was kind of straightforward to work out, though. Let's cover up her massive forehead. What is the white part of the hat called? That waffle, just buff Miku. She must be buff. Bagoki, I looked outside and it appeared nobody was at the house. I assume they're doing sister town visitor activities, whenever that may be. You could still prepare the brownies for later. And if you know the neighbors too, like if they're a friend or something, you could also message and be like, hey, I want to come over at some point and kind of say hi to the visitors we have. I believe in you, Bagoki. The music stopped. Okay. Easy bit done, kind of. Let's get the halo. And angle it slightly different. It's also thick, like a saucer. It kind of looks like a frisbee. So the smoke, does she actually have a cigarette? Or is her hands just smoking? I can't tell from her. Miku. There's text over it. She's censored. Ah, you girl. Okay, I think. See again, that just looks like a small white stick. She's a nun. It could be incense. It could be incense. It could be a cigarette. I can't tell. Are you on fire? Tell me. She's got a tongue piercing. Bags under her eyes. She's tired. My music stops. I don't like that. Let's fix it. Please. There we go. It's Teto. Okay, so she has a mini PinnochioP on her chest. So we can add the plaster to a cheek. I can do this to try and remind myself to do the backs under the eyes instead of the cheeks. Realistically, I feel like a less cute expression too. Uh, she has a short-sleeved shirt under a long-sleeved shirt. Astra Blaze, I would wager it's Sig. Yeah. Because it's really thin. It's really small. So I think it's a cigarette. But it's censored by text. And it's small. But clearly she's meant to be a nun, but like a rebel nun. So it could totally be a smoke. She's not got fingers in this. I could give her it. But like if her hands were on fire, I was definitely going to draw her hands on fire because that's pretty cool. I could give her a little cigarette, but it is small. And she'd be like a Powerpuff Girl holding it. I do like giving some of them props though. I don't like giving them all props, but I like some of them having them. Like a couple of the Nerus had props. This one has drumsticks in the hand. And I think Retry Now has her staff. So props are fun where they apply, Pony. Bagoki, you think so too? It makes more sense. I think you're both right. Because if it was incense, it'd be longer, surely. Unless she's walking around with like a stump. Misty, I think you should give her a cigarette. Did I summon you? That's 3 votes. I can give her her smokes. What's on her other finger there? Yo. Oh, it's like rings. Okay. I can give her it. It is literally a little stick though. There we go. But I can also do like the stylish smoke. You know what? I don't smoke. But animating smoke trails is really satisfying. Like not drawing them like this, animating the plumes coming out from a source. I'm really good at animating smoke. I did a job for somebody that involved animating like an entire pilot episode. And the 2 main characters are chain smokers. And the smoke animation was just so aesthetically pleasing in every scene. High frame rate and everything. It just looks so good. Misty, that was the first thing you heard. You were summoned then. You're like, I'll click on the stream right now at 53 minutes past, specifically. At the 3-minute mark, and you got the line, should we give her a cigarette? How have you been, Misty? I've not seen much of your art recently. I hope you're still making things. That's also... How am I? I had to draw a pony yesterday. I say I had to. I'm doing fine. This is like the pause game, only I wanted to draw non-typical Mikus. And it's actually been really fun. So I'm just slowly going through them all. But it's really fun. I'm currently on Godish. I'm taking my time kind of analysing the different pieces because the references are small. So it's trying to break down the shapes, kinda. And you joined right, so you see here, it's censored by the text bar, and then up here, it's literally just like a very faint white small, so that we were discussing what it was. Because it looks like a cig. Would it be fair to think that the nun could potentially be holding incense? That waffle raw. What art projects is everyone on currently, actually? Does anyone have stuff going? Ongoing projects? I know Astro Blaze, you have the mission. How far through the mission are you currently? Or are you distracted too much by date everything? So it's like... Okay, so her hair is covering up a lot of this part. So we can't really see the dress. That looks like a scarf. So I think this one was Bagoki's request as well. So that's Bagoki's done this stream. Little sleeves, little dress. What is that white thing behind her back? Girl, what is that? Should I just watch the music video again? I can't tell what it is. It's leaving. What white thing? She has nothing there. I need to make her dress shorter. I've made her dress too nun-like, too long. I'll raise up the headdress too. Just to make everything shorter. Let's raise it all because her dress is quite short. And I can't detail the socks if I leave it that long. It's just her shoes poking out the bottom. Well, I'm afraid, Miku, your legs are stumps, so your shoes don't get much. I'll imply that you've got like the wedge treads and what, a buckle? Oh no. Make them smaller. I can put a buckle on the shoe. And then she's got thigh highs with a weird garter situation. Not weird that I'm judging her, just weird because what is that shape? Kind of like this? It's looking like a little alien in the doodle, damn. Right, something like that. Well, Astralize, I think it's the smoke curling around her head. It's underneath her scarf, though. So the white stuff up here is the smoke, but this white stuff here near her hair, that. So up here, it's definitely meant to be stylized smoke, but that looks textured to me. Misty, you're wearing a regular modern gentleman outfit this Halloween. Terrifying. You're going to dress as... Damn, it immediately left my brain. Model citizen. Okay, she's actually ended up pretty cute. Not her lighting it up. Right. And then we've also got Chimera. Chimera. How do you pronounce that anyway? This one has a flamethrower. Pretty good. Like, okay, imagine I just use my beekeeping suit for a Halloween costume, please. Please. That'd be so great. Just play a bee sound effect on your phone and put it under your hat or something, so when you're at the door, it's like, I might be followed by a swarm of bees. I might send them your way. That waffle, you're being Harry Potter for Halloween. Winter is coming. Quick, go for a swim. Agoki, this morning was so pretty. On random chance, I woke up before sunrise and it was below freezing, and I watched the sunrise make the frost on the grass sparkle. I love when that happens. You're looking for examples of convection because it's cool. But yeah, how are you? I'm doing pretty fine. Doing pretty good. Drawing spooky Mikus. Once again, the Jcrow is drawing Vocaloid. I'm sure everyone is very surprised to hear that. I think this one can stay pointy. We've got Jester Miku. Jester Miku rings the bell. Jester Miku, your dinner is being served. Jesters are very popular with chat, or at least certain people in chat. They're going to be mad when they find out I drew a jester and they missed it. It's going to be funny. Save the lineup for when they're all here, though. Unless I get everything else done sooner. Little tear on the ear. I want to try and keep the sort of angular style to a lot of this. I think I did with Neru as well. Yeah, one day I should actually treat myself to doing a proper Halloween costume. Because I always wanted to Halloween properly as like a kid, but my parents never really invested in costumes for me. Because I remember when I was little, one of my rules for Halloween was it had to be scary. So when I was little, I did not understand why girls were dressed as princesses. Because as a kid, I thought the rule or like the whole point is you're meant to be scary. Obviously, as an adult, I understand it's more a case of you just dress up and it's fun. But as a kid, I was like, no, you have to be scary. And realistically, I never ever at any point said to any of anyone else, you can't be a princess, you can't be, I don't know, Buzz Lightyear, you can't be a fictional character because you have to be something scary. I never commented on other people. It would always be like, oh my god, your dress is so cute, or whatever. But whenever it came to my outfit, I was always, I need to be scary. I can't not be scary. It's Halloween, that's what you're meant to be. And in my little autistic kid brain, it was that black and white. It was like spooky, scary. And I always had this mentality, and I'd always say this. And then one year, my parents finally bought me a costume. It wasn't just like face paint or a mask. And it was a princess. I was so mad. I was livid. I was so upset. They're like, you're going to be a fairy princess. And I was like, I have never, ever expressed an interest in being a princess for Halloween. That's not scary. I was so upset. My brothers always got Halloween costumes, whatever they wanted to do. And then the one year they got me one, it was a damn princess. I was so mad. Have I done the pattern on this wrong? Kind of. No, the top bit is black, and then it also has Like a stripy checkered bit? No, pointy. Looking like that, I guess. Magoki, have you seen Miku's Pepoyo has? The Miku Pepoyo? Pepoyo rings a bell. Shall I have a look? Let me see. Oh, she's cute. Yes, I've seen her. Sorry, I googled it. It's some really, really cute fan art. I have seen her. Easy Peasy Euthanasia, one of the songs. She's so cute. Are you suggesting her for for one of the last slots? Are you requesting her? Spooky little baby. Wow, YouTube isn't letting me play it. The song. Bruh. I was literally there like, I want to listen to it now, and now YouTube's not letting me play it. I understand. I wish to proceed. I do not need advertisements for the Samaritans helpline. What do you mean? Play Miku. Damn it. Of all the videos to have a helpline thing for that sort of content, for example, entire video essays on the subject, why is it on a Miku song? Bruh. Gogoki, wait, it don't look like the original Miku. Nisty, peak Discord for what I've been up to. Ooh. Gogoki, yes, but don't worry, it's kind of too generic. Make it small. Carson, hi! I drew a Jester Miku. You have a Miku page in your sketchbook? What kind of Mikus? I'm going to check the Discord real quick. There is a link in the description for those interested. It's an art server. We got many artworks from Nisty. You have been busy. You got a new, what's it called? Lighter? Wait, that painting of fire is actually really good. Is that with acrylics? A fish smoking. Oh, you drew little faces on your fingers. Did you stick and poke yourself? How long does that even take? Oh, you have been busy. You have been making art still. That waffle. I want to see buff Miku or an alcoholic Miku. We were going to do buff Miku next. There's only a couple of slots left. I think there's literally two. Oh, the costume has a bit more of a corset look to it. Smoother, more multicolored lines. Misty, yeah, the stick and poke might do another pass on the first fish one. To, to make it darker, I'm guessing. It is a bit faint. Whoa, I rotate the canvas. No thanks. The idea of a fish smoking regarding physics is kind of interesting. How would that even work for something that doesn't breathe air? Unless it's like it could have SpongeBob logic. But what would the actual equivalent for something like that be for something like a fish? Just a Miku. We have 2 empty slots. I have a request for a buff Miku. Just a Miku. Yes. She doesn't have a mask though. Like I could put it up there, but the mask isn't attached to this one. It's being held up in that picture, but I could give her her mask. Like artistic liberty. Yeah? That waffle, any gays, I'm gonna go. Bye? Bye-bye. But okay, I'm also gonna go now because I'm going to see the Chainsaw Man movie. What? That's a thing? Chainsaw Man movie? Bring me with you. I wanna go. Bring me with you. You should totally draw a Peppo Miku. Put a mask on her hair. We can keep the mask. You know, the jester hat kind of represents her twin tails. I'll go grab a Peppo. She's really cute. Really small. I'm just adding it to the sticky note for predators. Peppo. You'll never guess what the creator for Peppo is called. That's right, it's Pep. Come back. It reminds me of Kirby. Kirby says Poyo. Okay, got her. So, should we make her small or should we make her big? Small or big? Carson, I don't know who to put in my sketchbook next. And Nisty, how's Pebble doing? Done anything stupid recently? He's always done something stupid. He was in here earlier. He was climbing on the back of my chair and crying for second dinner. He was doing the thing where he begs the other human in the house for food, thinking that they might, feed them a second time, completely ignoring the fact and forgetting that it was me that fed him the first time already. So as far as tricking me into the other parent into feeding them twice sort of thing goes, wasn't going to work for him. He looks so determined too. He was like, so hungry, wasting away, Mimi Pebble. No, you're not. No, you're not, and I know you're not. Fib. At the moment, we've got redecorating done, so he keeps getting, like, super zoomies. each time a piece of furniture is moved, he gets like the zoomies and he feels the need to parkour around the flat and like jump on furniture and stuff. So he's kind of having a great time with that. Do we keep the eyes? Do we keep the eyes from the original? Or should I Peppoyo them? I'm unsure. Oops. Like, that's how the face would look otherwise. Let's delete an eye and see how the rest would look without. Try and keep it the same size, though. I think it might be beneficial to change it to the actual eye. Some of them do get slight style changes for the sake of whatever they are, so I think this counts as one of them. Bellcats is hardly strictly on theme with the base, so currently I'm trying to keep the head proportionately similar to the others, but then I'm going to make her really short and see how that looks. So like if she's meant to be that tall, to make her really short but with a big head. Misty, so I got caught drinking by my dad the other Friday. Are you? I mean, as to how badly he would react, one of the main questions would be, are you old enough to drink? I kind of assumed you were, be it that you got into trade school and all that. But that is based off like UK stuff. So I could make her a tall Peppoyo, but she looks little to me, so I kind of want to make her shorter. Feet out, this one needs to have her hands out to the side, and other than that. Like, if you're old enough, I just kind of assumed you were. If you're old enough to be drinking and he was mad, then it's kind of like GG. But I could see why he's mad if you're not old enough to be, you know? But I remember, oh, okay, I don't drink. I don't like alcohol that much. But one Christmas, my grandma doesn't drink either, but she does have like a caramel Baileys at Christmas. And she offered me some, like a little shot of it. But she was really like adamant, like, oh, you're gonna like this. And I'm like, I don't really like it that much, alcohol in general. And she was like, no, no, try. So basically I was peer pressured by my grandma. And I ended up trying it. And bearing in mind, I was like, I think like 21, old enough to drink. And I just had this small shot, and my parental guardian, cringe, um, went on a big tangent judging and being like, oh, she's gonna be so drunk, she's gonna be wasted. And I was like, off that, no. Off that, no. That was barely anything. There was barely any teeny weeny bit. But she went on this big judgmental row about it. And for the rest of the day was being weird. Like when we walked out to the car, she was all, "Don't let her walk to the car because you have to walk on the road, and don't let her walk on her own because she's going to pass out or something." And I was like, I literally looked at her and went, "You know, I'm old enough to consume this. Stop behaving like a weirdo." Because it wasn't that it was coming from any sort of place of concern. She was being judgmental and weird. And it's like, literally, the little old lady in there can tolerate this. I think I'll be fine. The little frail old lady had like 3 of these. And she's fine. And she doesn't drink at all. She only has some at Christmas with guests. She was fine. Honesty, no, I'm not old enough yet. I'm just gangster. Old enough soon, though. See, that might be why he wasn't impressed. He wasn't even mad, like, from what I remember. He just told me not to make it a habit. And Carson, you don't know what to sketchbook next. Do, I don't know. Do Mikus, but theme them off OCs. Like I have a Neru Colby and a Zipload Miku. Okay, we got Peppoyo. A few of these are missing faces. Yeah, it's literally because the faces are coming from the base. So I was like, I'm not drawing them a second time. I'm not drawing them like 3 times. There's no point. Oh, this was a request from you, Carson. Retry now. Uh, Carson, thank you. I hope you have fun. I know you said at the beginning of the stream that you've got a Miku page, so I figured it was on theme. Hmm. I think. Oh, sorry, I'm having flashbacks now because like combining the subjects of like alcohol with studying, and I just remembered some catastrophic mistakes. One of my friends made with their student loan. Oof, that was bad. Um, I'll explain it in a way to make it kind of more interesting, and for those that don't know what it is. So when you go to school, you have to pay for it in some countries, and in England, it costs a lot of money. You can get a special loan where the bank lends you money for it called a student loan. You can get 2. You can get one that pays for your class and one that pays for your rent if you get student accommodation, right? That rent money also can cover things like your food bill. So I knew a guy who got his student loan. Oh dear. Long story short, one day he was like, "Jcrow, come out drinking with us." And I didn't want to because I didn't trust them. So a big rule of thumb when it comes to alcohol, do not drink with people that you don't trust because you're trusting them with you. If you choose to drink and you're getting yourself vulnerable like that with people that you can't trust to look after you if you need it, do not go out drinking with them. That leads on to another story that proves me extraordinarily right because they went and did a huge bad. But going back to this one guy, I'm like, no. And I came up with an excuse. I just said, I can't afford it. Seemed like a solid excuse. And then he said, well, haven't you got your student loan? And I'm like, well, yes, but that fund is allocated. And he proceeds to go, but it's free money. He thought But you did not have to pay it back. The thing with a loan is you have to pay it back. No, not the loan, overdraft. So I got a bit confused there. An overdraft is kind of like the bank will let you borrow money for a little while, but you have to pay it back. So he was like, you have a student overdraft, right? Because he said with student loans, and I'm like, that's allocated. And then he was like, overdraft. I was like, no, I'm not just using my overdraft for something like recreational, like going out drinking. I'm not using my overdraft for anything recreational. I wouldn't use it to go to the cinema or roller skating, which are things I'd actually want to do. I'm not going to use it to go cinema. I'm not going to use it to go rock climbing or swimming. I'm not going to use it for anything that isn't important because it'll get you in debt. You have to pay that back. Yeah, it puts you into zero monies. And he was insisting that it was just free money that you could just have. And I looked at him and went, listen, because he wouldn't listen to me. He kept correcting me. And I said, listen, if the bank just gave you free money forever in the form of an overdraft that you never, ever, ever had to pay back, why do homeless people exist? And then he finally went quiet. And I was like, the overdraft, you have to pay back eventually. They will ask you to pay it back at the end of the school year and start taking that money. So if you have minus £10, you have zero in your account and you spend £10 of your overdraft, you have minus £10 in your account. Okay, some basic maths. Now, if you put £10 into your account, that minus 10 goes to zero. And you have to put an extra 10 in to go up to plus 10. And I was explaining this to a grown man. And the more I explained it, the paler and paler he got. Because he got that money and that overdraft and went and did stuff like buy himself huge TVs. Oh, he bought so much stuff he didn't need. He went so pale and so quiet. And at the end of it, I was like, how much in your overdraft are you? Because he was visibly pale and nauseous. And he just like looked up at me, opened his mouth to speak, and then couldn't speak. I'm like, how much in your overdraft are you? He was like, I'm pretty sure he was like to 10K. He'd spent like 10,000, sorry. And just said that it was free money. Like, you're borrowing it. They're gonna want that back, bro. And he was like, no, but when my student loan comes in, right? And I was like, how much is your student loan? And he was like, 2,000. And I was like, okay, so you're 10K. That'll go down to like 8K. Oh gosh. I don't know how he managed. Whenever I had to do bank stuff, I'm always super attentive and asking 20 questions the whole time. Nisty, he wasn't even mad like from that. He just said, just not make it a habit. Mochi, hi, Mochi. Mochi, bye, Mochi. Misty, I got drawn as a furry femboy at school. Trade school is tough. Oh my gosh. Was it even a friend that drew it, or did like some random just approach you? Like them TikToks when people are like, I drew this stranger on the bus because they've got a cool outfit. I'm going to give it to them now and see what they say. Were you hit by a TikTok? They took a look at you and was like, furry femboy. Carson, you're going to draw Pomni as Miku? What? That's so cute. I was going to ask to see, but I know you can't share online. I'm just as interested. I'm just as curious as I would be everyone else. I just know you can't post, so I'm not like, show me. Shoes time. I wonder how this one's going to go once it's on TikTok. I think it's another example of. I think the reason I did Neru, I mentioned, was because I see versions for Miku and Teto all the time, but not Neru. And now it's like, I do see them, you know, for Miku. But now I'm adding to that collection of Miku Pause games with really, really cursed Mikus. I'm not sure if that's what the target demographic want, but it's what they're getting. Oh, I've done some really fun development on characters and background art. So one of the things I've been developing for Connie's, not Connie's Onion, for Jack and Colby. One of the things that I didn't like was that my backgrounds felt styleless. So I've been doing a lot of work on backgrounds. They're looking pretty cool. I plan to do a sketchbook tour, show some of them off. Wow, I have like a weird Teto mashups just started playing. It's like referencing every modern Teto song. Carson, I will find a way soon enough, trust. One day, Carson will be online. That's okay. It wasn't that I'm like pressuring you or anything. It's literally just when other people talk about art, I usually follow it up with, I want to see because I want to see. I want to see the pretty pictures. You're all very talented. And the only reason I'm not saying that to you is because I know you don't post. But I don't want you to think I'm like, I'm sure it's stinky, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm just acknowledging your circumstances. Let me just make sure these are blue so we know to recolor them. Oops. Realistically, we could color some of these now. So I've got a few in line art. Scene Miku, Leak Miku, Retry Now. Mikudayo and Godish need faces, so does that one and that one. And then the last one will be Hench Miku. Woof. Carson, if I get Discord when I'm older and you're still doing live streams, I will post it someday. We'll finally be able to see your skills. Should we do colour? Should we do colour or line? I know the poll has swung around into wanting to see sketches. Well, I did get a request for a buff Miku. The question is whether I do Seraphim in the ring or whether I just try and actually make a really strong Miku. It's these arms though, so I'm not really sure how to get on this tiny scale. I can draw muscles, but on such a small chibi. How do you draw a buff chibi? Hmm. I could do Miku boxing Miku actually. The Miku boxing Miku isn't actually muscular. She's actually, skinny, disappointingly, but we could make her hench. I've not played Miku Boxing in ages. It was really fun, actually. I used to play with Rin more, though. I also kind of prefer when I play with Miku. She has a casual fit, like a casual workout fit like this, which I think, personally, looks much more comfortable to exercise in than the box art. Start with the clothes. But even though she's just like a little virtual trainer in the game, I'm like, that's not comfy to work out in. I'm gonna change her into the one that's like more comfortable. There you go. Don't worry, girl, I got you. Oops. So make sure you can see her tummy. I could try it and give her abs, but it's gonna be look better to do that with coloured line art. So it's gonna look kind of rough. Oh wait, no, it is pleated. It just also has the scalloped print. Is it though? Or is it just wavy? I think it's just wavy. How do you draw a muscular chippy? Hypothetically, I'll put a belly button in. Okay, trainers 2, I guess? Sorry, I've already read that one. Misty, it was a friend, and I low-key asked them to. Oh, to draw you as a femboy. True friendship is being like, draw me as furry femboy, thank you. Did you get to keep your little self-portrait? Okay, so generally speaking, a typical look for strong arms, you want like the bicep to be kind of stronger, and then you draw dimples and stuff to imply the rest of the muscle is there. But she's got Powerpuff Girl arms, so I'm not sure. Don't know what to do. I'm gonna Google buff chibi. She can just be bald for now. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Like heavily over detailed muscle. But now it no longer looks like a chibi because it's so detailed. Why is there a furry wolf? I googled buff chibi. What was I doing there, Google? Larger shoulders might help get the point across. What is it with Google and you barely need to scroll and Google Images gets sus? I never load Google Images in public. It's so freaky. It's always been a problem with it, I think. It's always been an issue with Google. I'm trying to suss out the more normal looking ones. If only it ended on the one that has its arms upright. Because then it's a little bit close to a flex pose, right? Sentry, how do you guys draw a chibi muscular man? That's literally my question, yes. Sorry, if you just joined in to being like, how? Like, I can draw chibis, I can draw muscle, but my problem is trying to combine the two, because with too much detail, it's not a chibi anymore, right? They're no longer small. So realistically, we'd want like, what am I gonna do with your arms, girl? We want to try and get. But if I do that, it's just gonna look like she's got a bump on her arm. And she has sweatbands though. But it's Miku boxing! I could give her boxing gloves. That's way cooler. Girl, sweatbands, honestly. Get boxing gloves. You know what? Actually, the Neru one ended with boxing gloves too, so she's fitting. Looking at that hair. Hi, Sentry. Sorry you joined during my plight. You know, with all the cursed Miku that exist, another option would straight up be to, like, put it in her hair. You know, like the leg Miku? How is your Miku Popney going, by the way, Carson? Muscly lady. She can still kick your butt. Carson, I only use Pinterest nowadays because I can't trust Google anymore. Yeah, I hate Google so much. Honestly, and yeah, it's got on my wall right now next to a bunch of gun posters. Provides a nice contrast. What colour did they go for the fur? Did they colour it? I feel like if you chose, you'd have gone for like a black-red combo. Oh, one of those Mikus don't have colour in their eyes yet. You. Where'd you go? You. Oops. No, I'm trying to colour your eyes. Stop. There you go. Who should we colour? Well, I've still got some lines to do. But I think it's good to mix it up. Retry now. Oh, this one also has poofy sleeves that I missed. I missed the sleeves. Girl, why are you doing this to me? Maybe we should simplify those though. I mean, the rest of it is drawn. The rest of her is already completed. And I do like the look of everything. And she's also a very small little chibi. It's fixing the line. Yeah, pink. Oh, I've not drawn the inside of these parts either. They also need to be pinked up. Miku not be pink challenge impossible. Stripes on the bow next. Whoops. She's got this up here. This part. She's got stripes on the hair bows that are pink stripes too. If you guys could cosplay any Miku that you've seen on stream today, which Miku cosplay would you go for? So you're limited to the stuff you've seen on the live stream, but you can cosplay any and budget or practicality aren't an issue. In this thought project, you are capable of doing whatever you want to do and make like a really good cosplay of it. Which one would you pick and how do you think you'd go about it? Carson, you're doing good. You're on the line art at the moment. Nice. Misty, it's uncolored, but I did make a crappy Sona one time with military green and black coloring. So if I asked them to color it, it would have been that. Oh, nice. And then you can draw them with Hater Cat. Oh, that is a horrible yellow. Time to make it bright and shiny. And the staff has the same pink. That music was very loud. I've ended it. And by very loud, I mean it was like an Alvin and the Chipmunks version of a Miku song. It was literally like chipmunk chirping, not even words, and it was very loud. It's like, you know what? You're distracting. Go away. She's also got like an off pink on all the parts that are meant to be white. Though I might change up the shading on some of those. Her skin is like ghostly white, so I'm probably going to give her a bit of a pigment. A little bit of like melanin as a treat. Let's use this ghostly white as a hue base. Like, I could make her very pinkish in theory, so she's on theme with the rest of herself being so brightly pink. Let's get the blue placed on her hair first so that... because the color of the hair can affect how bright the skin color is. Make it a little warmer, but like that's really pale, but she has a little bit of... she's not canvas white. I think that looks on theme. Unless it's a stylistic choice. Like, I really like monochrome characters, black and white characters. I have some myself. But when you're drawing a character that isn't on theme like that, I think anime specifically is a big culprit of it, where they'll make their white characters or like light-skinned characters canvas whites. And it's like, literally canvas as in I could sample the canvas is what I mean by that and fill them, and that's how pale their complexion are. And I'm like, but it's giving corpse. A little bit of pigment. It's a treat. As a treat. Nice. Okay. She's definitely gonna need a little bit of shading to help these parts stand out, though. Carson, your room smells like Marcus. Oh no. Wait, I kind of know your pain. My markers stink. Or at least some of them do. Some of them are fine. I've got some that literally smell like cherries. But they still give you a headache. Open a window, Carson. Save yourself. Put something slightly darker in the background. There you go. Like, I have nothing against pale characters. It's just situations like this. I'm not sure she's meant to be canvas white. I'm not sure it's a style choice in that regard. I think she's just too pale. I feel like tweaking tones is fine, so long as you're not changing ethnicities. Like, I've coloured characters before with plenty of pigment, unlike Retry Now. But their colour palette's ashy, so I kind of make it a little bit more vibrant. You keep it, it's easy to keep things in the same, like, hue, whilst adjusting the saturation, I think are the right terms. So it's like you're not race changing the characters, you're just alternating the lighting and the saturation and stuff. I feel like I should point that out because I know that there are some people out there that might listen to the stream and go, ah, yes, so if I get this coloured character, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Put the pen down. Yeah, she's starting to look a bit better with some shading details. Really needs them. Carson, did you open a window? Make your room smell less like Marcus? Unless it's freezing. It's been really cold in England recently. We're starting to approach winter weather, I think. Shadow on the body parts. Whoa. There you go. Where else do we need pink? We need stripes on the... Well, we need white on the bow, but we also need stripes. That's part of the bow. We need her shoes. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Carson, I don't know how to open my windows. Oh no! Could you maybe do a situation, I don't know your house layout, but something along the lines of opening your bedroom door, opening a hallway window to try and let some of the stink out? Oops. I've enjoyed this little mini project. I know I really need to get on with my larger ones. I have been working on them. It's just a lot of it has been sketchbook. Like I say, I've been doing a lot of focus on concept art and background art. And it's all really fun. It's just sketchbook. And I'd like to show you all. It's in a sketchbook. I've genuinely been tempted because of it to do a traditional stream instead one day. But it would be a different camera because I'd have to use my phone to stream if I did that. I was tempted to do a sketchbook based stream. Make that pink, make it stand out a bit more maybe. No, but I think all this definitely needs... Whoa, not that. I need some shading down here to just make it all pop. So, what does everyone know about Day of the Dead rules? So tongue-tied. Day of the Dead, or it's Dia de los Muertos. It's not just one day, it happens over the course of a few different days. And on different days, you participate in different ways with different types of offerings, and different things or people visit you. Sometimes the visitor is different relatives. Sometimes it's like on some days you leave out water for just lost spirits or spirits that passed on hungry, things like that. Today, specifically, I believe it's the 25th. Today is specifically the day that pets visit you. So to anyone missing their fur babies, today's the day they'd come and visit you, apparently. I'm just checking what colour Retry Now's eyes are. Blue on top, pink at the bottom with a big yellow star in the middle. Oh, cool, concept art. Even better. Yeah, blue at the top, pink at the bottom, yellow star in the middle. Cool. Carson, I can tour. My cats will come in. Oh, I can't. Oh, my cats will come in and eat my stuff off my floor and cooked. You just have to sit there now and bask in smell. You just gotta bask in the stink. And holy moly, my baby gonna come see me? Yes! Specifically today, they come to see you. You can leave out your your toys. You can leave out like their favorite toy if you still have something like a toy or a blanket. But they come and visit home. Your pets visit home today. So if you, for example, have a cat and then you notice a lot of things are being knocked on the floor, guess who? Oh, I'm sad now. So that means I should see Regeki about. I'm like flipping between the reference art. Yippee! Little fellas. Okay, she does just have the big yellow star, so actually I might just change up the eyes on this one a little bit more. Oops. Keep the shinies. So we can have like sparkly eyes, because why not? Sparkly eyes are fun. Cute. And then put the big stars in. It's giving Colby. Suddenly she's giving Colby. Okay, and I can put like shiny hearts and stuff. This is Miku. We can keep the sparkles, it's fine. No. That was a terrible shine. That was like the same color as the rest of it. Cute! Oh my gosh! Uzi, wait, hold up, Sirageki. Please forgive me if I spelt it wrong. Or unless I took that wrong. No. Yeah, I went a little quiet because I was like, oh, it's like I said it and it hurt myself emotionally. Yeah, we lost Regeki at the beginning of the month. So we still have Pebble, but in the first week of October, literally on like the 9th-ish, we lost Regeki. His kidneys shut down. I'm literally looking at little claw prints we got from him, and he has a little cat-shaped urn that looks like him that we move around the house. We put it in all his favorite spots that he likes to sit in. At the moment, he's on the windowsill, and before that, last week, he was on the record player. The record player does have a lid, and we got a lidded one specifically because when we were looking at record players, Squeaky was like, "No, we need to get one with a lid. The cats are going to sit on it. I know they're going to sit on it." And then they both sat on it. So sorry. It's okay. Thank you. It's not your fault though. You don't. It's one of them where it's like when like when people say news, and it's like I know I do it too, where it's like I'm sorry, and people are always like, "You didn't do anything. You don't need to be sorry." And it's like, yeah, but it's the notion of I'm sorry to hear that news. Ink. Usually I do the line art on the eyes like this darker. I've just done it brighter because this particular Miku is quite shiny. So I thought I'd make a shiny. I'm pretty sure that's all of her pig, like, coloured. Didn't miss any parts. She's kind of detailed, so I always double check with the detailed ones. Yeah. One big shiny Miku! Nisty, bedtime is bedtime, Carson. My drawer is on the floor. I'm sorry. You know what else was on the floor? Absolutely everything Regeki pushed on the floor. If it was on the worktop, he pushed it on the floor. He was good at that. Squeaky clean. You can play as Lady D. Excuse me? She throws chairs? Huh? Chair? What do you mean you can play as Lady D? Bruh. I just realized I forgot that she has bright pink, bright blue cheeks currently. There we go. She pretty. Okay. So we got a lot of sketching done, a lot of line art done. These looking pretty good. I just accidentally launched my pen. I said no cursing. You missed the S and you put curing. No curing. No healing here. How dare you heal? Squeaky, you can play as Lady D. In what game, Squeaky? Which game? In Mercenaries? I'd rather play as Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku. She's super slow. Okay. We have reached the end of the stream, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for coming in. Nisty, it's been good to see you again. Let me see. So, thank you. Shout out to everybody that's been in. Looking at the monarchy today for the J Kingdom, Squeaky Clean. You are the monarch. I don't know if you've been the monarch before. Misty, you are the heir to the throne. Pause the third, or Waffle, you are the knight in shining armour. Shout out to everybody else we've seen in the stream today. Dubro and Branny back near the beginning. Goki, Mochi Stars Arts, Astroblaze, Carson. We did have a little visit from someone called Sentry too. That might be everyone we've seen today. So thank you all for joining. It's been lovely having you all. The streaming schedule is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. UK time. Depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Have a great day or sweet dreams. Bye bye.